Okay, good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see you again here tonight on the seventh teleseminar series. In our teleseminar series, we are joined by Masters Hubert Lee and the Wizard of Wizards and Teacher of Teachers, Ridgely Goldsboro. So without further ado, let's just get started. Hi, Ridgely. Good evening. Hi, Hubert.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
We're super excited. If I could only just figure out how to get my title on there like you guys have. It looks really cool, and it's just not working for me. I'm like feeling like I'm in the 20th century here. So tell me, I know we had some fantastic work that was done last week. Hubert, maybe you can share exactly where you left off and where we can pick up.
Sure. We talked about creating a why message. I actually, on an impromptu basis, did a why message based on my why. I spoke about a way to introduce myself, and based on my why, got a little bit into the how and then the what. And we actually wrote that up and Federico distributed that by email and had everybody try that. So originally, now that you're here, maybe you can kind of explain the background of it, because I know you've done, I think, thousands of these at this point for people. If you can kind of share with us what your formula is.
No, exactly. I'd love to do this because, frankly, this is among the most powerful things that you can do to express what you believe. And at the end of the day, the whole key, and I know we've talked about this in the past, and just by way of reminder, the key is we don't want to do business with everybody. We don't even want to associate with everybody. We don't even want everybody to be our friends. We want to hang out, associate, and do business with those people who believe what we believe, those people that share common core values, that stand for the things that we resonate with. That doesn't mean that we're the same as those people. It just means that what they stand for, their way that they look at the world, is resonant with the way we look at the world. And here's the challenge. Most people don't know how to articulate that. So obviously, if you can't say it in a way that enables someone who feels that way to raise their hand and say, I'm in, I want to hang out with Hubert, then the challenge is that no one's going to know what you believe, and therefore they can't make that choice. So this becomes, to me, knowing your why is great from a perspective of learning who you are in the world, where you fit in the world, how you see the world, the filters through which you look at the world. All of that is good. That's just step one, though. Step two is to articulate that in some way that enables the world to see you for who you are and make a decision to associate with you based on that clear communication. It's all about see clearly, get inspired. We have to see clearly, we also have to communicate clearly, and then get inspired. So the why statement is a fantastic, literally almost unprecedented and unparalleled tool to do that. It always follows the same formula. We have a statement of what is your why. Hi, I'm Hubert Lee, and I believe in seeking mastery over all things, that whatever it may be. How we bring that to life, which is always done through a series of your how statements that are strung together in a way that feels good, followed by what we do, and obviously always ending in a call to action, whatever the action is that we're looking for the person who's viewing or hearing or watching that message to take on our behalf, whether that's to pick up the phone and call, whether that's to click on a link, whether that's to opt in for more information, whatever that may be, we want to make that super clear. So the way to go about this, and so, was that good so far? You want me to go a little bit deeper into this? Hubert, what are you thinking?
I think that's pretty good. I myself always like to explore it deeper, but that's because I like to master things. So my goal is to go deeper, but
Okay, well, let's just go a little bit deeper. So how do we do that? I mean, how can a person who's watching this broadcast right now, listening to it via a recording, how can they do that for themselves? So the process is going to be really not that complicated, and I would recommend a really modern, highly effective, super sophisticated tool. Pad of paper. Really, really good. This is like really effective. I've used this a number of times myself over the last 50 years, and you know what? It really is a good one. So with a pad of paper, we start out, let me get a marker pen so we can see this a little bit more clearly. We start out with a why statement, and then a series of hows we bring that why to life, a very brief expression of what we do, and ending on a CTA or call to action. Anybody can do this because you know what your why is. After that, you just say, okay, how do I bring my why to life? How do I bring my why to life with my coaching business, any other business, in my regular job? What do I do to show the world what I believe based on my why? Write out a few of these. Notice that's the only one with an S. That one has an S. All the others have no S. And write out a few of those, and then look at them to shape them into a way that it sounds like it makes sense. So my way is to make sense out of complex things. How do I do that? Well, my hows are: I take things in, I listen intently, I analyze and review the data, I process the information. So it could sound like this: I'm Ridgely Goldsboro, and I believe in making sense out of complex things. When we work together, I'm going to listen intently. I'm going to process the data, take all of it in, and analyze that to find the solutions that are going to work for you. What do I do? And then you insert your what. I believe in consulting and coaching with anyone that is willing to improve their life and find a better way. If that sounds like somebody you want to work with, call to action, give me a call. Very straightforward, very simple. What makes this so powerful is that if it's my how that I come up with, it is 100% genuine and authentic to me. And therefore, those people who resonate with that because they feel good about that expression, because they feel the same way, because they have the same view of the world, are immediately going to go, ling, 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 that sounds right. I want to know more about that. And then they're going to take the call to action that I asked them to take. Very simple, very straightforward. All of us can do it. Obviously, it requires a little bit of practice. I'm wondering if anybody has any questions on this or has actually tried it and would like us to take a look at some of these that might be out there and see what we can do to improve them. That might be kind of groovy. But so does that make, is that clear enough, Fede?
Yes, that sounds wonderful. Yes.
Okay. So I don't know exactly how, again, well, you guys are kind of operating what's going on behind the scenes, but let me know if anybody would like to take a look at their statement or try to build a statement like that, because otherwise we can also go a little bit further and talk about the various places where this can live and how we can, basically create a homepage script or an About Us page script, which are clear expressions of what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ridgely, just before we get started with that, and we can do two things in terms of, from a technology standpoint. We can invite people into the Hangout with us, and we can do some of this live. I know that Allison, thank you for volunteering. And while we do that, we're getting asked the question, can you please repeat what the formula is?
Okay. So yes, the formula is very straightforward. Start out with an expression of your why. After that, include a number of your hows, how you bring your why to life. The things that you naturally do in your daily life, in your coaching business, in your work, whatever it may be, to express to the world what you believe, which is your why. So then a series of your hows. A brief expression of what you do. Because really what people care about is what is your why and how do you bring that why to life. In other words, what do you stand for? What do you believe? A brief expression of what you do, followed by the CTA, which stands for call to action, of what you would like the person who's viewing or hearing that message to do in favor of you and your business and your company, whatever it may be. So why? A number of hows strung together in a way that makes sense, what you do briefly, and the call to action that you want someone to take after viewing that message. So that's the formula, and it never really changes. It's very straightforward. And we don't have to go, by the way, I just want to say something. We don't have to go to that old style manipulation. Okay, the old way used to be, okay, I'm going to say something, I'm going to find the pain, I'm going to agitate the pain, then I'm going to state myself as an authority somehow. I'm then going to show my solution that helps someone to overcome the pain, and once they've seen that I'm the solution, I'm going to tell them what to do. We don't have to do that anymore. It's not working anymore. That was okay 5 years ago. Now people want genuine, real, and authentic, which is why this formula works much better, especially when we're talking about not when you did the old formula of agitate the pain, state your authority, you're going to attract anybody and everybody that may be in that pain. We don't want to do that anymore. We only want to do business and hang out with people who believe what we believe, not everybody else. That's why this formula is much better for where we've arrived to in this mass chaos, mass media bombardment that makes everybody kind of like, oh God, please just stop. Please just stop with all your noise. Give me something real, please. That's why this works. Okay, so what are we doing now, Mr. Producer Man?
Let's see. Well, I am waiting. We're inviting people, to join us from the Hangout. I have posted the link is right within the Hangout. So if you just go and click on that, then that will invite you into the Hangout as you have done so in the past. And I just wanted to mention to some of you who have said that you haven't received, the email with the statements, etc. Just come on anyway. And then let Ridgely work with you live, and that will be a wonderful experience, for yourself and everybody else.
The other thing I want to share is that in about 30 minutes, we're going to make a really cool announcement that everybody's been waiting for. So stand by, because actually I'd like to make it right now, but if I do, everybody's going to get distracted, and then nobody's going to listen anymore, and this call is going to go to chaos, and we're not doing that. So 30 minutes, the big announcement is coming. All right.
Yes.
Now, one other thing that I can say while we're waiting for people to come on board, in terms of the messaging, when you know what your why is, here's another thing that you can do that is very powerful. Can you express the essence of it in 4 words or less, and take advantage of that as a slogan or tagline that you can use based on your why? So let's suppose that your why is to contribute to a greater cause, make a difference, add value, or have an impact. Something of those 4 kind of explanations for why number 1 are going to resonate best with you. So let's say it's making a difference as opposed to contributing to a greater cause, adding value, or having an impact. Maybe the tagline becomes something like changing lives every day. Just a few words that expresses what you really feel based on your why is super powerful. Okay, so now we have some folks joining us. I see Lori with a horse. Lori, can you hear us?
Lori, your mic is muted, so go up to the top bar right in the center, and then you'll find there we go. Are you there, Lori?
I am.
Excellent. I see you with lots of things behind you.
I'm in the garage. This is my other office. So when I need to get out of the house, I come down to the man cave. So
I like that.
until I get kicked out of the man cave, I'm here for now.
Well, you know what? Sounds nice and quiet, and you're coming through loud and clear. Is it coming through for you guys, Hubert?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So, Laurie, tell us, have you done any work on this why statement yet, or should we do it together?
I have, and I definitely would like to try it out.
Okay, great.
I actually got to use it today, and I went to a meetup, and you have to go around and introduce yourself. So I started off by saying my why statement, and then my call.
Are you there, Lori?
I am.
Excellent.
Okay.
I see you with lots of things
now that's
behind
a recording. Guys, what's happening?
I'm in the garage. This is my other office.
What are you seeing, Ridgely?
I'm hearing a recording of what Lori and I were just talking about.
Federico, you can mute everybody, Federico.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay, perfect.
All right, hold on, Lori, 1 sec.
You know what's
amazing when it works.
Clear. Is it coming through for you guys, Hubert?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So, Lori, tell us, have you done any why statement yet, or should we do it together?
I
That's
have,
interesting.
and I definitely would like to try it out.
Hold on, guys.
I actually got to use it today. I think you need to mute Sharon. And you have to go around and introduce yourself. So
Sharon, can you mute yourself? Federico, can you mute Sharon?
I am clicking on her mute button, but somehow it doesn't seem to take effect.
I see you with lots of things behind you.
Okay. Maybe Sharon can mute yourself out.
I'm hearing.
Sharon, if you can go to the top bar in the center of the screen, and then just click on the mute microphone, that'd be great. There we go. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay, Lori, tell us more.
Okay, so I went to a meetup today, and I was able to practice a little with my why statement, and I did get an incredible response.
Oh, tell us about it, please.
So it was a marketing roundtable meetup, and we all got to go around and introduce ourselves. And I'm a nutritional biochemist and a business coach. So I started out with my I believe statement, and I said, I believe professional women should have sustainable energy throughout the day, mental clarity, and be understood. And I just paused and let everyone absorb that, because there were a lot of women in the room, and I just loved the look on their faces. And then I said, as a nutritional biochemist and professional women's business coach, I take the complicated out of being healthy. I work on connecting skills, not just communicating, and helping you bring your authentic marketing message to the world. And then I sat down, and everyone was like,
wow.
And so needless to say, I'm going to be the speaker at that meetup next month.
Oh, congratulations. That is fantastic. What a great result for you.
Yes, so that was fun. But it's, you know, it feels really good to say that, and I'm just really curious, because I wrote out a lot of how I do stuff, and I'm really trying to blend this being a nutritional biochemist along with being a business coach, and really focusing on leadership and how to bring those together.
Okay, so tell me how just tell me in your own words. Tell me my why is, and how I bring my why to life is. Just give me your own words.
My why is to make sense. And I love to take complicated scientific nutritional research and put it into simple and easy to understand language, so my clients can make sense of all the options of supplements and holistic approaches. And I present talks and coach and lead mastermind groups in the areas of women's health, communication, effective connecting, network, and leadership.
Okay, so let's back up a second, and you don't mind me using you as the evening guinea pig to start this off, right?
I'm fine.
Okay, so what you just told us was a lot of what you do.
Okay.
Now share with me how you bring to life, how you make sense of things for people. Not what you do, how you go about the process. In other words, tell me a little bit more. I listen, I process data, I analyze. Give me a little bit more of how you bring it to life.
So I do listen. I really listen to where people are and where they want to go. And a lot of times there's huge gap of where they are and where they want to go. And it's a combination of giving them tools to get there, whether it be nutrition or whether it's coaching them. But it's, again, it's I like this, talking about the whole how is I spend way more time listening to people than I do talking.
Mm-hmm. What else do you do?
When I'm working with my clients?
Yes. How do you let them know that you're going to help them sort through the chaos?
How do I let them know? That's a really good question. I mean, we talk about what they want to accomplish. So I do a 30-minute strategy session, and I really want to know what is it that they want to accomplish. So once they let me know, then again, I'm talking a lot about my what and how I'm going to get them there, more than, but I do. I know I feel this incredible sense of just satisfaction and pleasure when it all makes sense to them. Like, I feel like I have so much information up in my head, and I don't want to, vomit all over them and give them just a ton of information, because people just glaze over with that. So it's really spoon feeding them enough information that they can process at that time. It's so important for me to be that they are understanding and that they are able to utilize and put into action the things that we work on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my key points, is I really want people to walk away each time we have a session together, or if I give a speech. I love speaking. I'm a Toastmaster. I just can't get enough of it. And I always have that call to action and want people to walk away with something that they learned today that they can go out and they can use right away.
To make their life what?
To move their life forward. I see so many people that are just stuck, and they just want to stay in this. It reminds me of that book, The Big Leap. They want to stay in their area of excellence or mediocre, and they don't want to go to their genius. And I really want to help people see that they have this genius, and they have this thing that will really make them happy when they're doing it. And when they do it, it's I know for me, when I'm teaching and coaching, I have more energy than I know what to do with. I almost have to come down from it.
Okay.
I don't get tired.
So listen to this. So one of the challenges that we have, especially when we're highly, highly educated, as you are, is the tendency to want to use big words, right? So originally as a writer, I've written 11 books, and I have a lot of big words in my vocabulary that I've had to learn to kind of tone down so that I can be more clearly and powerfully understood on a limbic brain level, not on a thinking brain level. So based on what you just told me, all I did was make a bunch of notes that I can now reflect back to you that don't use big words.
Okay.
So you could say, I'm Lori, and as a nutritional biochemist and business coach, I believe in making sense out of things for all of my clients. When we work together, I'm going to listen to you, to where you are and where you want to go, and give you tools to help you get there, whatever you need. We're going to talk about your goals in a strategy session, and I'm going to help you make sense of all of it, provide enough data and information so that you can process it and use those tools that very day. My job is to help you move your life forward and find the genius within you. If that sounds like someone you want to work with, give me a call.
I love it!
See,
that sounds so much more simpler.
Well, that's why we're doing this, right? and obviously this is being recorded, so, or it's being recorded, right, Fede?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
This will be
And you can go
available
back
in our
and,
yeah.
and use that and make it into your own words. Again, all I did was listen carefully to what you told me that your hows were, and then reflect them back to you in a message that ties them together in 6th grade English. Because notice your reaction. It feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
That's what you want. You want people to feel good about you so that they then raise their hand and say, tell me more about your coaching. I think I'm a candidate.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for volunteering first. It's now recorded for you. Do with it whatever makes sense to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Lori, for jumping out and volunteering. Who else wants to raise their hand and give this a shot?
And while we do this, Ridgely, Lori, if you're able to go back into the broadcast room and then exit the actual Hangout space, then you will allow somebody else to join us on here on the Hangout. So thanks so much for sharing. Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Okay,
that was awesome. Lori, you did a great job. All right, Chicola, you want to try?
I want to try. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I
cool.
can hear you clearly. This is great.
Good. So for me, when I work with the why, we came up with it was contributing to a larger cause.
Yeah.
But really, what I was feeling was right for me. Was really challenging the status quo.
Okay.
That's what I felt like, because a part of me is really entrepreneurial. A part of me is always kind of inviting people to step out of their way of thinking. And with my business, what I want to invite people to do is really to embody their own truth. So the client that I work with, for example, saying, my business is about thriving. And then I meet the client, and the person themselves, they were not thriving. So I'm like, well, what is in the way of you not thriving? Whereas if you really, step forward and claim that thing, you can start thriving. Mm-hmm. So one of my challenges have been how to express that so people want to. And I use the environment as a place to, to help them. That if you are a successful person, your environment should look successful. Just look like you, brilliant and thriving and beautiful. And if you are making $500,000, your environment should look like a $500,000 environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell me how you bring your why to life. Tell me what you do to live that on a daily basis.
On a daily basis is when for example, I just came to some friend's house and I was looking at the place, and the place is just like, okay, I'm just putting stuff here. And I asked them, would you like me to help you see how you can up level the way you are using your space? And they said yes. And I'm like, because if you do, for one thing, when you are at your desk and you're working, you don't want to be facing a wall. You want to be kind of having the space to open up and look out and be inspired while you're working. So we transformed the space. They gave me the yes, and I transformed the space. And then, he was completely happy. He's like, oh my God, I never even thought about that.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
What else do you do? How do you bring it to life? So that's one.
What is that I do?
Transforming spaces. Okay.
Yes. Yes. How else I bring things to life is asking them what it is that they really want in their lives. Like, what's your vision?
Okay. What else?
What else? What else? Then we go about saying, okay, what are the strategies that you're putting in place to bring that vision to life? And what are the steps that you're taking for it? And what's in the way?
Okay, 1 second. Okay, what else?
What else? Now you're making me think.
Well, that's the idea, right?
Yeah, that was the idea. I agree. That was the idea. So how else do I help people bring to life is I kind of ask them questions about what it is that they really like. So somebody say, well, I love beautiful cars, for example. And I'm saying, okay, so the way I want to invite them to understand the relationship that I want them to get is is to start kind of becoming whatever you see in that beautiful car. Like if you like a Maserati, do you behave and perform like a Maserati yourself?
Hmm. So when you take a look at someone and what steps they're taking, what blocks they have, that kind of thing, after you do that,
Yes.
after you finish looking at all that, how else do you help
Yeah.
people? How else do you bring your why to of making a difference or challenging the status quo? How do you bring it to life? How else? Once you finish that process.
Once I finish that process, then I give them tools to how they can start implementing that in their lives.
How they can start implementing what? I'm sorry.
How they can start implementing that way of being in their lives. So, for example, with one client is doing meditation with the clients. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a schedule where we're doing the meditation. With another client is doing the coaching. So they will tell me they have a certain goal, then I'm holding them accountable. And it's to ask them, okay, when they don't do the exercises or the homework, is the why. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of challenging the people or the little places where they're hiding and saying, okay, which part of you doesn't really want people to see you? And what's in the way of that?
And when you do that, what is the benefit? What's the ultimate goal of it?
The ultimate goal for them is to completely be relaxed in their own person, is to completely step into their power and to step into their leadership.
Okay. So here's give me one second. Oh. So if I'm reflecting back what you shared with me, and
Yes.
what I don't want to do is go back and try to psychoanalyze your why at this point. So I've got a tool for you for that, which we'll be releasing here in a minute, so we can skip that part.
Okay.
It would sound something like this. I'm Chicola, and I believe in insert your why, whatever it is. Then the
Mm-hmm.
words that we choose after that are the ones that have to be 6th grade English for it to be really clear. So we would say,
Okay.
when we work together, I'm going to help you transform your space. Ask you what you really want. What is your vision? And what strategies you have? What steps are you taking? And what are the blocks that are in front of you that we need to remove? I'll then give you the tools to change the way you're being, challenge where you're hiding those little spaces, and help you step into your power and your leadership to be all that you can be. If that sounds like someone that can help you, give me a call. See that? Very
Wow.
clean,
Yeah.
very simple language. All because that hits the limbic brain. See? So that's why this is so important. And again, thank you for giving me all your beliefs. Made it easy for me. I just have a pen, paper, like an old country boy, just writing stuff down.
This is fantastic. How do we become like that?
Yeah. It takes a little bit of work, my dear. Thank you very much for volunteering. And please, review
Sure.
back, make those words your own, change them into whatever serves you best, and the best of luck
Yes.
with it. And I've got about 10 more minutes before I'm going to tell you how to verify what your why is, okay?
Okay.
Work for you? Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. I know Allison is waiting patiently. Thank you very much, Chicola, for volunteering. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ready?
Yes. Wow, it's a little bit challenging because I can hear you, but I cannot hear Chiquiola. However, that message sounded absolutely awesome.
Okay.
Allison, good evening.
Oh,
Are you
wow.
available now?
I am.
Are you unmuted?
I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you perfectly.
We can
Okay,
hear
great.
you.
Ridgely, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm so glad that we're doing this together.
Yes,
It's
so
fun.
am I. Okay, so I shared some things with Federico today via email. I'm going to back up a minute, if it's okay with you, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of brief background. I am
Sure.
building a web application. It's actually a marketing and prospecting website that will be replicated. It is specifically for a network marketing company.
Gotcha.
I've done this before many years ago. So I'm redoing with a new company, and I need to have a very precise marketing message that reaches, people. So
Okay.
that's sort of the brief background thing. I'm working on this with a partner.
Okay.
Did you want to? I'll stop chattering.
No, that sounds good so far.
Okay, great. So my why is to create relationships based on trust.
Okay.
My partner's why is to help other people or move them forward. So I'm trying to create a message for the both of us that will also carry across the entire company.
Okay.
My ultimate goal is to take what I learned from you, put it into a video, and have that become our entire messaging and languaging. I'm gonna write everything around that.
Okay.
All right.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Whose vision was it to create the partnership that you have with your partner?
Both of us.
Who had the original idea?
He did.
Okay.
He
Just check
came
it on
to
that.
me because I'm the one who knows how to do it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you have so far? Tell me where you are so far in the process.
Okay, what I have so far is what we do, what our business does. We provide lifestyle choices, life-enhancing nutritional products, personal development. I have this one statement, and then I have a paragraph. So my one statement is, we believe we can help you achieve an unlimited lifestyle with health and wealth.
Okay.
Many of the problems that people face today are declining health, tough financial times, and relationships at work and home that are stressful. You may not feel that you're stuck, you may feel that you're stuck, that you don't have any options. We believe you do. We want to help you fill in the gaps when the money runs out before the month. We believe you can surpass or overcome the limits of your budget. We want you to feel the relief of achieving an unlimited lifestyle. And that's just the beginning, and I really need some help figuring out the rest.
Yeah, and actually, if you're looking for a message that engages people so that they go to read that, we need to get much more basic and fundamental. In other words, what you just kind of shared is a kind of a hybrid between what you believe and what you do.
Yes.
And we need to engage people first. In other words, we need to hit them right square in the limbic brain first with much simpler language so that they first feel good about you and then are willing to read on to talk about what you just said. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell me how you bring to life the fact that you care about others and relationships and helping people.
Personally, for me, I share my heart.
Okay.
I'm a loving person. I share my heart.
Okay.
I care deeply that people improve themselves, and have a lot better, a lot healthier lifestyle.
Okay. What else?
I listen.
You know, this is good stuff. Okay. What else?
There's often some coaching involved.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When,
and what do you? Why do you listen? What do you listen for? What's the reason for listening?
I listen because I want to know where a person is on the feeling level.
To talk about what you just said. Okay. Amy, can you mute yourself out, please? So just hit your mute button.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Listen. Okay, go ahead, Allison.
So I'm really listening on a very deep level for what people's problems are, where they're stuck, and I want to be able to talk to them on that level. I want to reach them on that level. So I understand very well when you talk about the limbic and the emotional system.
Okay, and when you reach them on that level, what happens? What do you do after that?
Then we talk about how I, intertwined with the network marketing company that I'm involved with, might be able to help them solve some of their issues, problems, show them a better lifestyle. And then as a sponsor, I have more of a coaching relationship with the people that I bring into the business, because I want to see them succeed. So I want to help them over whatever blocks they may have that are keeping them from success.
Okay, and when you help them succeed, what happens to them? Allison?
So when the blocks are removed, very deep level for what people's problems are. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hearing myself speaking again.
Yeah, Amy, can you hit your mute button, please?
Yeah, I want to reach them.
Thank you. Okay, Allison,
Okay.
keep going.
Please ask me the question again.
So when you get, when you help someone succeed, what
yes.
happens to them?
What happens to them? Then as they overcome their blocks,
mm-hmm.
then it's easier for them to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for them to be successful within their own business, in the company.
And the outcome of that is what?
The outcome of that is better health and less financial stress. I don't like the words financial freedom, but I do like less financial stress. So ultimately, my goal is to help people have better health, improve their finances, and actually work with people so that they are personally developed as well.
And so let me invite you to consider a possibility here.
Okay.
To get people to that space where they're open to what your opportunity and your products and financial situation may be available, the first step is to get them to feel great about you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So it might sound something like this. Hi, I'm Allison Turner, and I believe in creating relationships that truly make a difference. When we're together, I will share my heart. I care deeply that you improve and have a better and healthier lifestyle, and I will listen on a very deep level to find out where you are stuck and reach you right at that space. I want to show you a better lifestyle and help you succeed in every way through our journey. If that sounds like someone you'd like to engage in conversation with, call me.
I really, really like that.
Yeah, well, it's
Question.
my job. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on a personal level just for me. As I create the message for a It has to be a generic website that everybody is going to be replicating for marketing, for prospecting. How do I do that? How do I switch that around so that it's more generic?
Well, it depends on whether you want it to hit the limbic brain or not. If you want it to hit the limbic brain, it can't be generic. It has to be true to the person. And to do that, basically you have to know their why and craft a message around their why. There's no other way around that. Now, can you do that? Sure. We're like 8 minutes away from I'm telling you how you're going to do that.
Okay.
So thank you for stepping out. Please use this, but can you hear the difference? All I talked about was how you view the world and what you believe, so that those people that resonate with that feel great about you, and then they want to know more about your service and your products. But first it starts with that feeling, that connection.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Federico, where are we going?
Okay. Well, in a few minutes you want to get going on this. I saw in the notes here that Sharon still has a question with a why. So,
okay, she's got to get her why.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay, wonderful.
We can do that. Hi.
Hi.
How are you, Sharon?
I'm very well. How are you, Ridgely?
I am terrific. I'm happy to be home very briefly. It's always good to be home for a little bit.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
So we haven't done your why yet.
Have not yet done my why.
Well, I think there's no time like the present. What do you think?
I like the present. Present's good.
Then let's do it. Let's do both.
Okay.
We'll do your why, and then we'll do a message based on your why.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So tell me about something that happened to you at work or in your business with another human being, a specific incident that made you feel successful.
When I was working with one of my staff at music camp, she came to me about a life career choice, graduating university. And she was unsure about where she wanted to go next and whether she had actually chosen the right path. And so in our conversation, I helped her clarify and get through to what she was really wanting to do and how she could possibly make a good, clear decision for herself. And that made me feel successful because I was able to help her connect very clearly with what she wanted, connect with who she was, what she was really after. I was able to dial down the chaos and dial down the emotional charge and help her get clear about what the real problem was.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That sounds great. That sounds like a wonderful contribution that you made. And tell me, what about doing all of that, dialing back that noise, sorting through it, what about that made you feel successful?
It made me feel successful because I was able to simplify the problem for her and give her options that she hadn't considered and help her think through on her own what she wanted to, what she was really after.
And tell me why giving her options that she hadn't considered and help her kind of work through that, why that's important to you.
It's the way I work through my own stuff. I work a lot through finding a lot of different ideas, generating a lot of different ideas, different possibilities, and seeing which ones kind of land and work and make sense in an unusual way. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. Now switch gears with me and tell me about something that happened with another person outside of your business that made you feel great. A specific thing can be anything you want, health, hobby, relationships, anything, as long as it's not related to work. Something happened with another person that made you feel successful.
The first thing that comes to mind was it happened a couple of years ago when I had actually, it was one of my staff again, came to just hang out, and in the process, we were hanging out in my garden, and in the process of the gardening, he said, you know, Sharon, I have a dream, and this is what I'd like to do. And I didn't really find out anything about it until later, when he wrote back and told me how important that was for him. When he said, when I didn't laugh at what he said, I said, okay, that sounds great. What are you doing about it?
Mm-hmm.
And that for him, that what he said, that just completely changed how he was thinking. Instead of thinking, what am I doing, and you know, why can't I? He started thinking, how can I? And that led him into a whole series. It led him into some leadership seminars. It led him into creating. It led him into creating a summit for young men at his university, and led him into running a number of things that he would not have otherwise. And that was surprising. I wasn't aware of the impact that I'd had just in simple conversations, what I thought were fairly simple conversations. And
what about having? Go ahead.
I think what about that made me feel successful was that, you know, that it wasn't a hard conversation. It was showing me that that just in being honest and just being who I am with these younger people has an impact and changes their lives with sometimes something that's very simple for me.
Sure, it's simple for you. Now, what about the fact that you obviously helped this person on your staff sort through a lot of things in their brain, clearly, to get to that outcome? What about that part made you feel great?
Part of it was unexpected.
Okay.
It was unexpected. It was an unexpected response from him. It was, and I like that kind of surprise.
Okay. So
also makes me very careful about what I say, you know.
Yeah. Are you the type of person that when someone starts telling you about their situation, it's almost like unconsciously you're already kind of processing what might happen to help them out and possibly show them a new way?
Yes. Several
it's
new
almost
ways.
like it's almost as though you may not have to say anything, but there's no possibility that you're turning off that process that is happening the minute someone starts sharing with you something. Is that not correct?
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, there's always another way, a new way. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And to you, it's kind of one of those things where it's almost like the machine, that fabulous, amazing brain that we all have. For you, it's in constant processing mode. It's like tick, 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 tick all the time. And somebody comes to you and shares something. It's like tick, 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 right?
Yes.
And so is it more important to you to make a difference in the lives of others and help them out, or to sort through things with people so that you can help them out?
Sort through things so that I can help them out.
Yeah, right. I probably should have brought everybody into this conversation and see if anybody can guess where we're going. Because, you know, the cool thing about you, Sharon, is that you have the best why. I just want to let you know.
It's yours, right?
That's right. That's right. So if you'll notice, both of the stories that you share with me, one about a staff member trying to make a life choice, another about a person who was came to you and hung out with your garden, and again, it was about sorting out their life. Do you feel successful when you make sense out of things for people?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's you. So then tell me, how do you bring that to life? How do you live it on a daily basis when you're talking with people, when you're working with people? How do you let them know that you're a problem solver, that you really care, and that you have this unique ability to see things and sort through things and analyze things and come up with results that work? How do you live that on a daily basis?
I ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to them for the deeper meaning behind what they're saying. I offer several possibilities of an either or well, several possibilities for them to consider. I show them possibilities they had not considered. Unusual possibilities, ways of putting things together that they hadn't considered. I show them an easy way through the drama and the complexity of things. I show them how to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
I listen for, I think I said this, I listen for what they're really saying behind the words.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, check this out. When you're talking with people, if you want to create a message that is about what you believe, so that you create that environment in which they can feel great, it might sound something like this. I'm Sharon Little, and I believe in taking complex things and challenging things and making sense out of them for the benefit of others. When we work together, I'm going to ask a lot of questions and listen for a deeper meaning. That meaning that's behind the words, so that I can offer several possibilities for you, show you new options, even unusual and unique ones, and find the easy way through the drama and the complexity of things. And we're going to make sure that we have fun in the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
If that sounds like something that makes sense to you, call me.
Sounds great.
Yeah, right. Again, for everybody that's listening and watching this process, it's always the same. It's about simple, clear communication of how someone lives their why so that it resonates on a very deep, on the limbic level, creates a feeling, an environment where people can trust each other and want to move forward. And then, Sharon, you can bring that magnificent brain of yours that solves problems for the world out. By the way, I'll share with you, since this is first time doing your why, our challenge, that means me, you, and anybody else that has our why, like Lori, our challenge is that we do see solutions all the time. And if people would just listen to us on a regular basis, we could solve most of the problems of the world, couldn't we?
Mm.
So the challenge that we face is that a lot of people, in fact most people, actually really don't want their problem solved. They just want to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
They just want some empathy. So as my wife often reminds me when I'm about to solve the problem that she's wanting to be heard about, I don't want to be heard. I mean, I don't want you to talk. I don't want you to solve my problem. I don't want you to fix anything. I just want you to listen. So one of the challenges that you and I face, and so I'm just sort of bringing it up so you can bring it into your awareness, because that's all we can really do, is that a great question for us is, are you looking for solutions or answers, or do you just want to be heard?
Mm-hmm.
Because that way, if somebody just wants to be heard, we can solve their problem for them, but we don't have to tell them what the solution is.
Right. I usually wait for them to come and ask. I learned that a long time ago.
You're a wise woman.
If they ask, I'm on it. And
okay.
Sometimes I just keep my mouth shut.
You know what? I'm with you. It makes life easier, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Well,
they
Sharon,
can
thank
figure
you
it out
very much.
Thank you very much, Richly. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Okay, so at long last, running a few minutes behind because we were having too much fun with all of our friends, I want to share with you, I'm very, very excited about this. We are releasing right now, if you go to your portal, you may not have been there for a little while, you will see that there is a thing that says Y engine beta. You are the first people, the people who chose to come to this call tonight and listen are the first people in the world that will have the opportunity to go in and use the Y engine. Now, let me just caution everybody. I mean, I'm very excited about this, and I can't wait to hear your feedback and your comments and all those kinds of things. Here's the thing. There's a reason why it says beta. You guys get to use it first, not with your clients, because it's still in beta. And we want your feedback, and we want you to tell us if it sounds weird, or if it sounds funny, or if it's not exactly whatever, or if it's really cool, or if it's groovy, or whatever, so that we can, as quickly as possible, take it from beta to version 1.0, which is a version that you will be able to use with your clients, with your business partners, with your loved ones, etc. So please hear me on this one. This is Ridgely, your friend who cares about you. Don't use this on your clients. It's still in beta. So give us another couple of weeks of feedback with you, and we'll have it ready. It's operating right now at about a 95% efficiency rate. So it's been a lot of time, effort, and development to going into this. And you, my friends, the wealthy visionaries, are the very first people in the universe to be able to use the Y engine. It exists nowhere else for anybody except in your portals. So if you go to your portal right now, you will see right there in your top navigation bar, there is a new tab. It's called the Y Engine Beta tab. It will allow you to go through the engine one time. So go through it yourself, see what it comes up with, see what it feels like, or whatever, and we are furiously behind the scenes continuing to work on it to get it to 1.0 as quickly as possible. And if you think you want it to be at 1.0, think about how I feel. So far, it has been an extraordinary journey, and I'm really, really looking forward to taking it across the line and releasing this tool to the world. There's an awful lot of people that are waiting for it. In any case, it's there. You're the first to get it. Just as I said, please just keep it to yourself and send us feedback. Federico, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
So I'm inviting everybody to send their comments to my brother Federico so that he can see what their experience is of using the engine. And thank you for your kind words in the group chat. I'm enjoying it. It's like this has been a very long time coming, and I think it's super cool that we get to launch the engine with all of our friends that are the wealthy visionaries of the world. So anyway, like I said, it's there, it's available. You can do it tonight, you can do it tomorrow, whatever suits you. There's a brand new tab in your portal that did not exist until a few hours ago. So I don't know if anybody had seen it before, but now if you go there, you will see it is there waiting for you. So enjoy. This is pretty exciting.
Wonderful. Yes, yes. I mean, it has been a long time in the making, and you know, I don't know how many emails I responded to, you know, asking about the Y engine. So finally, it's you know, it's right here. So this is great. And what I do want to request is that if you have your comments, your feedback, we're very much looking forward to it. Just click on the Contact Us tab that's right next to the Y Engine Beta and leave me a comment there and just share your experience of going through it. We're very, very eager with this. And as Ridgely said, we've put a lot of time, a lot of thought into this, and we're very glad to see it live.
Yeah, no, this is very, very cool stuff, and as you can see, everybody had a chance to experience what's so cool about this portal is every time, just like we were able to add the engine, it just showed up magically in everyone's portal. Every time we make an improvement, every time we tweak something, it gets dynamically added to everything that you've done. So as part of going on this journey with us, we are constantly, I can't even begin to tell you how many people are working behind the scenes to convert this into what we hope will be an incredibly powerful tool for your life and also for your business, and you're going to be the first people to know about it, because it, bam, just shows up in the portal. So thank you. I see the tons of comments coming in. Really, really appreciate all of those thoughts. Is there anybody else that wants to work on their message? We have another 10-15 minutes that we can use this evening. I already see some people dropped off. They already went to do the engine fit. See, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
that's why
I saw that.
I saw that too, man. People are bailing. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I said I'm not sharing this engine until at least an hour into this call, because I know how you are, all you people that I love so much.
Yes.
So, anybody else have comments or ways in which I can help you on the messaging? Okay, you're still there. I appreciate it. You guys, yes, the best people are still with us. It's those other people that bailed on us. I get it. Let me share with you guys. Let me give you what we could do tonight that would be fun. And I can't wait till next week's call when everybody can talk about this engine. So please bring your comments to call next week, because I have more. I got more stuff coming your way. Let me share with you the vision. And I think we'll do the vision, and then we'll do Mel's message, and then we'll call it a night. So the vision here is that for those people who, especially, who are using part of their energy to change the world, to make a difference, to challenge the status quo, whatever it is, in helping other people, we want to be your partner. And we have, we're blessed to have some pretty amazing resources at our disposal to create the tools that help all of you be better and help all of us together improve everything that we're doing. So once the engine is put into 1.0, it will tie in directly into a system that you can directly use yourself when you're working with your clients in partnership with us. You can bolt it on to what you are doing today. You can add it to your repertoire, your quiver, your arrows, all those kinds of things. However you want to do it, we're going to make those things available. There's an insane amount of software and product development that is going on every day, all day long, behind the scenes. This is the most important piece. So thank you for being here this evening with us to launch this to the world. I'm very excited about it. I'm trying to stay calm over here, but I'm really wanting to do the funky chicken around my office, you know, kind of. So, all right, back to work we go. Mel, let's see what we can do with your message. All right.
Actually,
I'm terrific, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
All right. So, and tell me, remind me, Mel, what is your why again?
My why is to try to make the solutions.
Okay. To make sense out of things, or to make to contribute?
To make sense out of things. So make sense of
I think that's interesting. Perfect. I think that's interesting because there's so many people who are coaches that find themselves in that space because we actually can make sense out of things, which is cool. So, tell me, Mel, how do you bring that to life? The fact that you're a problem solver, that you can see these kinds of solutions, that you're able to process a lot of data and go through it, which is something that is not unique to most people. It's actually unique to only a few of us, even though there's a couple of us on this call. How do you bring that to life on a daily basis when you're talking to people and working with people?
Well, what I do is I look at their lifestyle. I help people with gout, and I look at their lifestyle and I see what factors are triggering their gout, whether it be something they're eating or something they're drinking, or maybe they're not getting enough sleep, or some other problem.
Think of it on a more general. So yes, it's about gout, but really it's about overcoming a challenge, right? That challenge happens to be gout. So tell me, how do you bring to life the fact that you have a unique ability to process lots of data and come up with an answer? How do you show that to people? How do you share that with people?
Well, I think I share that by isolating what's causing them to feel bad. That what's their trigger.
Okay, and what else? So that's good. You isolate what's causing the trigger, and then what?
Well, I offer them solutions to help them so they don't get attacks anymore. They don't get flare-ups.
Okay, so you offer solutions, and how do you offer the solutions?
By changing whatever's seems to be wrong, and then monitoring their progress, seeing if they're getting better or if it's getting worse. Or
okay, and then what? And then what do you do to keep them healthy?
Well, I keep them doing what they're doing.
So you hold them accountable.
Correct.
Okay. And when you do that, what's the outcome for them?
A healthier lifestyle.
Okay. And when they have a healthier lifestyle, how else does that benefit them?
Well, they can go out and they can work out, they can exercise, they can go to work without pain. They can live their life without pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can just have and just be more, just be happy. I mean, they're not in pain. They can go out and they walk around. They can go for be with their friends. They don't have to be shut in and just lying in bed or lying on the couch. Totally. Totally shut in. Cut off from the world.
So they're experiencing some kind of freedom then.
Yes.
Okay. So again, what we're looking to create is something that is very straightforward and real for people. So that the first experience that they have of working with Mel is that you're real and that it feels good. The message feels good to them, so that once they've gone through that process, then they open up to the information of what you do and the specifics of the solutions. But first, we want to create that feeling that comes from the limbic brain. So a message might sound something like this. I'm Mel Kong, and I believe in taking complex and challenging situations, especially when it comes to your health, and making sense out of them for you. I'm going to look at your lifestyle, and we're going to figure out together what factors trigger this challenge. We're going to isolate what's causing that trigger and offer solutions by changing the circumstances and monitoring your progress. I'll do my best to hold you accountable so that you can enjoy a healthier lifestyle, pain-free, get out and walk around, experience the freedom that others enjoy, and live a much better life. That sounds like someone that can help you. Give me a call.
Good. I like
See how
that.
it's just clean? Feels right. It feels good. Feels like, hey, wow, that's like Mel. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. I want somebody who can do that for me. And then the next question naturally becomes, wow, that sounds great, Mel. How do you do that? And now you can offer them the solutions that you actually have.
Now,
cool,
how do I target? Yeah, but how do I target the people that have gout, and it's not, or am I shooting just at like a general audience, and then coaching?
I would imagine that your website is specifically targeted for that, right? In other words, if people are coming there, they're coming there because they know that you may have a solution to their problem.
Gotcha.
Right? Okay. So the most important thing when they get there is not that they see you have the solution, but that they experience Mel first. Because
Gotcha.
that's what people want. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you stand for first, and then once they feel good about that relationship, then they want to find out what you have that you can offer them. But it has to be in that sequence. First they feel great about Mel, and then they ask you what you can do to help them.
Gotcha.
Because we make decisions based on feelings, and then we justify them based on logic. So first you want to create the feeling of connectedness, and then you want to justify it in logic. Does that feel right to you?
Yes. So I'd have this, either I'm speaking this, like a little video, or it's written at the top of the page where they read it first, and then they can click on further drop downs or.
Exactly right. And I would definitely recommend, in today's world, especially because when I see you, if I hear you speak your truth in that way, I feel good about you. So to the extent that you could put it in a video, it is going to be stronger than if you did it just in the written word. Now, it would work either way. It's just that video is the way that most people love to relate. I mean, the reason we're having a great time and interacting is because we can see each other.
Right.
So when someone comes to your website, if they have an opportunity to experience Mel expressing his truth, articulating his why and how he brings that to life, they're going to have a great feeling about you first, and then naturally they're going to want to find out more about what you can do to help them with their challenge.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah? Of course,
yes.
That's our idea. That's what we're supposed to do, right? We're make sense guys. It's all good.
Yeah. Can I ask you another question? This is like, I was talking to another coach, and she's saying, well, all men, they want to solve problems, and so it's kind of like it's generic to men. So to us, like, to make sense of the situation, is that the same as trying to solve the problem?
So what she's saying is and this is said with all love and respect in the world, is a gross overgeneralization. The truth is that not all men want to solve problems. A lot of men just want to make a difference. Hubert, for example, is literally a genius. But you know what? He wants to seek mastery for himself, and sometimes cares about solving problems, and sometimes really pretty much doesn't. So that's okay. Other people are driven by creating trust, for example. I have some incredibly successful friends that are not into solving problems. They just want to build relationship. So while it is sort of one of those commonly thought things that people say, oh, all guys are like that, people love to make those gross generalizations. It's just not true.
Gotcha.
So you and I love to solve problems. We're wired that way.
Gotcha.
But you know what? On this call, we also heard from Sharon, who's wired to solve problems. We heard from Allison, who's not, but she does to help people. We heard from Lori, who's wired to solve problems. And we talked with Chicola, who loves to solve problems, but she does it by either challenging the status quo or making a difference in people's lives. So that's not the driver for those people. I believe that in the coaching world, you have quite a few people who do want to make sense out of things because that's what coaches do, right?
Right.
So, more common here. But no, that's just a gross overgeneralization about the man psyche. I take objection with that.
Okay.
Amy, are you okay if we start out next week directly with you? Okay, fantastic. I appreciate that. I can't hear you. I think you're on mute, but anyway.
I'm fine.
Originally.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. We will do that and make sure that, Fede, you're in charge of making sure that Amy's on first, because I want to respect everybody's time. We're already at an hour and a half. And I know there are people who want to go play with the engine.
And there are many who have already played with the engine, and they were leaving comments on the portal. Thanks a lot, Kat. That was wonderful. You went through it. You know, she said congratulations. It was right on. Allison was suggesting, you know, that she wanted more questions. Just so you know, Allison, there are 5,000 different question combinations within the engine. So, you know, there's sort of a lot behind the scenes. And Ridgely, I did want us to. There's a very important question sort of on here on the portal, and it goes like this, and it's posed by Gary. And Gary is asking, you know, if 10% of the population has a number 3Y, does this mean that the same percentage would resonate with that type of message? You know, in other words,
huge question.
That is a great question, isn't it? So I think that would be a great question to end the evening with.
Perfect. That's a great question, Gary. Thank you very much for that question. And it's a deep thinking question, and I didn't expect anything less from you, Gary, so that's great. So the answer is, the good news is that that's not exactly how it works. What happens is when someone clearly articulates their why, it enables anyone who resonates with that message to raise their hand and say, that feels good to me. I believe that too. So for example, Ridgely also believes in building trust. When someone expresses that they believe in creating trust, I feel good about that if it's articulated clearly and it's genuine to that person. If someone says, I believe in challenging the status quo, I can look at that like Chiquiola, just confirm through the engine that that's her why. I think that's great. And I can say, I can resonate with that message and say, you know what? Sometimes so do I. So if I was looking in that moment, I have a friend who's a high-powered attorney in San Francisco. Her why, she's a woman, her why is to challenge the status quo, and she does real estate law. If she expressed her why, and I had a challenge in real estate, and I was looking for an innovative solution, I would immediately go, that's who I want to be with. That's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for the regular old lawyer. I was looking for someone who thought outside the box. I want to be with her. So great question from Gary. It's all a matter of being as genuine and authentic as you can, so that when someone is looking for your solution, the solution that you offer, and they resonate with the message, which means it feels good to them, regardless of what their why is and your why is, the key is that you are genuine and authentic, so that when that resonance comes in, the person immediately raises their hand and says, I want to be with you, I want to get more information, let's take this to the next level. So does that answer your question?
Can I say something about that as well, guys?
Sure, of course.
That resonance that happens is also happening because a lot of people's, they have a primary why, but they have very strong hows. And oftentimes, when there's a resonance, it's because they're hearing somebody's why, and it's really hitting and really linking up with them as one of their strong hows. And so from the way Gary is talking about the percentages, you actually reach much higher percentages because you also resonate through the connection of your why with people's hows.
Nice. That's a good point, Hewitt. Man, I think you just need to take over these calls. I don't need to be here anymore.
I was actually just seeing a request if you were going to be here next week with us too.
I am going to be here next week, and I'm excited to be here next week. I want to hope everybody enjoys, if you're in the United States, the Memorial Day weekend. For me, it's just a day that I can catch up on figuring out all the stuff that we're doing with this engine for everybody, which is fantastic for me. And have a great week, everybody. Have a great holiday weekend. I will be with you next week, and I cannot wait to hear all of your comments about the engine. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.